to show you today are how I start my onions off early. Now, you can sow your onions directly in the ground, and they do very well there. But if the weather is just a little bit too cold, then it tends to sort of stop them from growing as well, I tend to find. Now, sometimes we get cold bits of weather, and then sometimes it can be warm, so it's very difficult to know whether the middle of March, which is when you tend to sow your onion sets, whether that's going to be nice and warm or whether it's still going to be too cold and you're going to have to delay them. Now, normally when you order your onions, they'll arrive in a plastic bag. If they stay in that plastic bag for too long, they will start to rot. And if they start to rot, then you can't grow them. They just won't grow. So if you do get yours and they arrive in a plastic bag, then I suggest what you do is you open up that bag immediately as soon as they arrive and empty all your little onion sets onto a cardboard egg box or a cardboard tray. Sort through them, and any that are soft or any that have got any mould on them, discard them straight away, because if they've got a tiny bit of mould on them, then they'll just get worse. Now, you can then leave them in that tray in a cool place, make sure it's a frost-free place, until you want to sow them, but the likelihood is that more of your onions will then start to go soft. So what I like to do, and what I've been doing for many years, and I find that this works really, really well, is I start mine off early in half toilet rolls. Half toilet rolls are very easy to get hold of. Ask friends and family if they can save them for you over the course of the year. And I just sow mine one onion in half a toilet roll, and then I keep them in the greenhouse. They don't need to be heated. You don't need to put a top on top of them to keep them warm. Even if you've got a cold frame, they'll be absolutely fine there. But what they will start to do once they're in this half toilet roll in some compost is the roots will start to grow at the bottom and the shoots will start to grow at the top. Therefore, when you then put them out into the soil when it's warm enough, they're already well established. And any that haven't grown aren't going to grow. So then you can just discard those and get rid of those. So let me show you how I start my onion sets off in half toilet rolls. Now here I've got 4 trays. In this tray here I've got multi-purpose compost, just bog standard multi-purpose compost. In this tray here I've got my onion sets here. The variety I've got this year, I'm growing stew on. In here I've cut up some toilet rolls into half, so that was one, and I just cut it across there. And then this tray here is empty, which is what I'm going to then put my completed toilet roll into. So all you need to do is you need to get your half toilet roll, hold it in your hand, fill it up with multi-purpose compost. Make sure you don't compact it down too firmly, just gently, and putting your hand on the bottom stops it from then falling through. Then all you need to do is you need to get one of your little onion sets. Make sure you get this the right way round. So make sure that the root bit is down the bottom and the top pointed bit where the green leaves will come up from is pointing upwards. Otherwise you'll get an upside down onion. All you need to do is then push one onion set into the compost. Push it down so that all that is showing is just the very tip of it. As the onion set will grow, the roots will go down into the compost and it will actually push the onion up slightly. So if you just pop it on the top, then they'll end up falling over. So it's always best to push them down as far as you can. fill in any gaps with a little bit more compost, and then we'll put that in this tray here. So that's one done, and I'll just get on and do the rest. Right, so I've done all the little onion sets I've got. I've got 2 trays here, or just under 2 trays full here. So all I'm going to do now is I'll give these a little quick water just from the top. The cardboard will then absorb the water, and it will actually help the onions to start to shoot, their roots to come out. You don't need to water these very often because it's cold outside and there's a lot of water in the atmosphere. That's enough really for these to grow. If you do find that the soil is getting very dry, then do give them a water. Now I'm going to put these in a cool place. If you've just got a greenhouse or a cold frame, they're absolutely perfect in there, and they will sit in there quite happily until you're ready to sow them outside. So I'll just find a little space. I haven't actually put the greenhouses in their final positions yet because I'm doing their base. So I've got a tiny little cold frame that I can pop them in and cover them with some plastic, and hopefully that will be fine, and that will keep them quite happy until I need to sow them out into the garden, or until I've got the greenhouses up, which will hopefully be in about a week or two's time. Well, that's the onion sets. If you want to start yours early, then do. If you've got red onion sets, then do those in exactly the same time and exactly the same way, but they don't need to be planted out into the ground until at least the middle of April. They need the soil to be warmer, quite a lot warmer than your white or your brown onions do. Well, I hope you found that useful, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.